Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Tkgoated here, and welcome back to another video. Today, we about to react to revisiting all 10 wins from the 76ers 2015 to 2016 season. I didn't even know the record that they had it to. I seen the thumbnail 72 and 10 and 72, bro. That's crazy. It's crazy, man. I didn't even know. I don't know. I don't think I was watching basketball that early on, bro. I think I was, but I wasn't paying attention to the 76ers. Like back then, my favorite team was the Warriors. You already know how it is, man. But I ain't trying to waste too much of your time. Let's go ahead and hop straight to this video, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This light keeps turning off, bro. This light keeps turning off. I don't even know. I ain't gonna lie. If it turns off throughout this video, man, just be aware. I think recently people were like tanking games and stuff. He's trying to prevent that from actually like I forgot what he's trying to do. I think it was like a tournament. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a tournament. I'm like Adam the tournament silver. Adam added tournament silver. Yeah, bro. That's how it should be. Hey, if you guys wondering,
Hinky's
wait, before we continue, if you guys wonder why I skipped a big part of this video, I don't even want to mention it.
first moves included trading away the team's best players, and then purposely built a roster that was designed to lose. And all that losing directly led to the 76ers drafting Joel Embiid 3rd overall in 2014, but unfortunately had to miss.
But yeah, if you guys wanted me to tell you guys what happened in the first part, well, he was just talking about like people taking games and stuff, and I was talking about Adam Silver, and you add the tournament for everything. The nickname that I give Adam Silver is Adam added tournament Silver. That's his name.
His
That's his
first
name
two
now.
seasons because of injuries, which I'm sure Sam Hinkie didn't mind, as all it did was prolong their rebuild. While Embiid was recovering, Philly won just 10 of 82 games in the 2015-16 season. Let's find out who those 10 wins came against. As we all know, that was the same season that the Golden State Warriors won their first 24 games. The Sixers opened that season with a streak of their own, just not one that they're proud of. They began the season with 18 straight losses, tying the record for the worst start in NBA history with the 2009-10 New Jersey Nets.
Didn't the
Who
Pistons
also
break
opened
this?
0-18. Technically, the Sixers lost 28 games in a row, if you were to count how their previous season ended, breaking the record for the longest losing streak in American professional sports history. December 1st was Kobe
That's
Bryant's
crazy. I'm not
final
even gonna
game in
lie.
his hometown Philadelphia,
I wouldn't
and
want to be
felt
part
the
of that.
love as soon as he entered the arena. Bryant hit 3 of his
I'm not
first
gonna
4
take a
shots,
game just for a
scoring
lot of
9 points in the first 75 seconds. He tried to deliver a special performance in his Philly finale, which would have been the best time to try and do it, against a team who hadn't won a game all season. The Lakers led by 8 going into the half, but a third quarter scuffle seemed to wake up the Sixers. From that moment on, the Sixers stepped on the throttle. They would outscore the Lakers 53-33 in the second half, as Philly earned their first win of the year, ending the longest losing streak in pro sports history, as well as spoiling Kobe's first game since announcing his retirement.
The intro, and then at the end of the game there, and my high school coach being there, and Dr. J being there, I couldn't ask for anything better other than winning the game.
It must have felt great for the Sixers to finally get their first victory. I hope they savored it, because they would go on another pretty bad losing streak, dropping 12 straight. Heading into this matchup against the Phoenix Suns on December 26th, the Sixers had a record of 1-30, but it was Phoenix who could not buy a basket in the first quarter, shooting less than 24% in that opening period. And to make matters worse,
so
their
just got
leading
lucky.
scorer Eric Bledsoe got hurt in the second quarter and had to be helped off the court. But the Suns would not quit. They inched their way back into the game, and even taking the lead at one point, but Philadelphia was able to hang on, largely thanks to Nick Stauskas, who gave the Sixers a push.
I don't even know what that is, but hey, good shot.
The Suns became Philadelphia's second win of the season, something PJ Tucker was kind of ashamed of.
Is it embarrassing at all to lose to that team since they'd only won once? Pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, I'll be pretty embarrassed to lose to a
would
team
only go on to
who only won 10 games throughout the whole
their
season.
next win. Entering this game against the Kings on December 30th, the Sixers were last in the NBA in scoring, but came up with one of their best offensive nights of the season. They shot 42% from the floor, making 9 threes. Philadelphia led by as much as 12 in the second half. Sacramento made a late push in the fourth quarter.
I ain't gonna lie, they was making the 76ers look like a G team,
as the Sixers surprised the
like
Kings for their second win in 3 games,
like a G League team,
what
bro.
was still the NBA's worst record to 3-31.
They've been playing better. We knew that coming in, and they just out hustled us, outplayed us.
I would have
Just
been
5
hot
days
if I would
later
have
on
lost to the
January
worst
4th,
team.
the Sixers hosted
I would
the
have been
Minnesota
hot,
Timberwolves.
bro.
The entire game was a close contest, with 21 lead changes and 12 ties. Early in the third quarter, number 3 pick Jahlil Okafor gets the best of the number 1 overall pick Karl Anthony Towns, but they both didn't play particularly well. The Sixers defense was looking good in this one, with Philly having 5 blocks in the fourth quarter alone. Ish Smith iced the game yet again with a pull-up jumper. He had 21 points and 11 assists, as the Sixers pulled away to another win, and were suddenly a better team since acquiring Smith in late December. Better, but still not great, as they would go on to lose 4 in a row after that. On January 16th,
Hey, if you would have traded me to the worst team, I would have been hot.
Flat from the opening tip, while
Like,
Jahlil Okafor did not.
They
Okafor
try to
had
hold me.
17
They trying to
points
hold
in
my
the first
career,
quarter
bro.
alone, which was
That's
as
literally
many
how I
as
would have
the entire
felt.
Portland team scored in the first quarter.
You
The
gonna
rookie
trade
center
me
only
to
missed
the
one of
worst
his
team?
9 shot attempts in that opening quarter. Lillard
Yeah,
and McCollum,
28
the NBA's
consecutive losses?
highest-scoring guard
Come on,
combo
bro.
at the time, shot just 10 of 36 combined. Philly held a massive lead at halftime, and Nicki Minaj sent out a
CJ.
tweet that read, "Philly, let's go." The Sixers led by as many as 32. In their
God
previous game, the
damn.
Sixers let a 24-point lead
Yeah.
slip away in an overtime loss to the Chicago Bulls. But 2 days later, they made sure that didn't happen again, as my Blazers unfortunately fell to the NBA's worst team.
Nothing surprises me
That's
in this
odd,
league.
man.
You know, we gotta learn.
Yep,
and
that head
understand
coach
that
for the make them run. Yeah, like
any
40
team can beat you on any
Diamondbacks.
night.
After a double overtime loss to the New York Knicks, the Sixers traveled to Orlando to take on the Magic. The Magic led 20-10 to start the game, but a lack of intensity on defense proved costly, as the Sixers bench had themselves a night. Jeremy Grant, Hollis Thompson, and Isaiah Cannon combined for 44 points off the bench, as Philly went on to win 96-87. Okafor scored 20 points for the 18th time that season. I must be going crazy, because it's starting to look like they're getting a win every other game. On January 26th, the 76ers visited Phoenix, a team that they had already beat earlier in the season. The Sixers were without their top scorer, Jahlil Okafor, which should have made it a lot easier for the Suns to get revenge, or so they thought. Philly dominated for the most part, as they
I don't even
led
know
for
who
the
Jahlil
final 3
Okafor
quarters.
is.
Phoenix went down by 19 in the second half, but even when they
Like,
managed
no
to cut the
disrespect,
deficit
I'm
down
just
to
saying,
7,
bro.
the Suns couldn't keep the momentum going. Ish Smith led the Sixers with 20 points and 9 assists. Robert
Hey,
Covington
Ish
added
Smith a
19
hooper, though. I'm
points,
not even
as
gonna lie.
Philadelphia swept the season series against Phoenix. It seemed like they were
Ish Smith,
finally
he can
figuring
do
things out,
some
having
things,
won
man.
3 of their last 5 games. But of course, every time they started trending in the right direction, they would
Like, they're
follow
gonna
it
lose
up
to
by
go to
losing
state,
a handful
like,
of games. Now, if
that's
you want to count
guaranteed.
this game against the Warriors as a moral victory, I guess you can. During that 2015-16 regular season, the Sixers and Warriors were on opposite ends of the spectrum. After the first 32 games of the season, the Sixers were 2-30, while the Warriors were 30-2. Philadelphia had the worst offensive
That's
rating in the
crazy.
league,
Yeah,
while the Warriors had
the
the
exact
best. So with
opposite
that said,
when it comes
few
to
would have expected a decent
record,
game
bro.
between these two clubs, let alone a competitive one that came down to the final shot. Think about it. If the Sixers
With that
had
water.
won this game, then the Warriors would have more than likely failed to
Game-winning
set
shot
the
right there,
single-season
boy.
record for wins. 1 week later, on February 6th, Philadelphia took on the Brooklyn Nets.
I understand
The
what he's
Nets
saying,
had
though.
a
Like, it was a close
disastrous
game.
first quarter. They turned the ball over 4 times in just the first 3 minutes of the game, and scored just 4 points in the first 5 minutes of the game against one of the league's worst defensive teams, but ended up playing a lot better as the game went on. It went back and forth down the stretch. Robert Covington hit a big 3 with just over a minute left. Then, fittingly, that terrible start by
Robert
the Nets
Covington at the
turned
top?
into an even worse finish. They couldn't protect the basketball, turning the ball over multiple times, as the Nets lost to the now 8-win Sixers. Okafor had 22 points in a career-high 17 boards. The Sixers were 51 games into the season at this point and had 8 wins, which meant that they only managed to win 2 more times in their final 31 games. On March 11th, the Brooklyn Nets were in town again, and despite the Sixers dealing with several injuries, and despite Robert Covington having to be taken off on a stretcher after accidentally getting kicked in the face by teammate Jeremy Grant, it was the same result as last time, with the Sixers hanging on to win, as the Nets became the second team to lose.
Wait,
to the
Jeremy
Sixers
Grant was on the
multiple times.
76ers at the
It's a
time?
tough loss, man. And they play hard. Give them credit, man. They play hard. You know, I know that their record doesn't show because of the wins and losses, but you know they play hard from start to finish.
That victory snapped a 13-game losing streak for the Sixers, but would go on to lose another 12 straight games afterwards, before facing the New Orleans Pelicans on April 5th. The Sixers needed just one more win to avoid the worst 82-game record in NBA history, which wasn't a problem, considering that the Pelicans were extremely short-handed. They were missing a ton of scoring without these
They got
injured
lucky
players.
there.
Meanwhile,
Tyreek
Carl
Evans,
Landry for
Anthony
the Sixers
Davis,
came out
and
and
then
made his
gets to the
first
other
9
ones, man.
shots
But
for
that's
a
the
game-high
whole
22
starting
points,
lineup.
including tying a career high with 2 3-pointers. Philly went up up by as many as 20 in the fourth quarter and was smooth sailing from there on out. Philly's bench had 59 points. With that victory, the Sixers no longer had to worry about tying the worst record in NBA history, set by, well, themselves. The 1972-73
Oh wow,
Philadelphia 76ers have the distinction of being
so
the
you would have
worst team in
tied your
NBA
own
history,
record.
at least in terms of an 82-game season. Technically, the 2012 Charlotte Bobcats are the worst team ever in terms of total wins and winning percentage, but that season was shortened by a lockout, so these 2016 Sixers are only the third worst team of all time. Sam Hinkie's unconventional approach helped put the team in position to draft Ben Simmons later on that summer. Keep in mind, the
So you did
decision
that
to
on
draft
purpose.
Simmons over Ingram and
Hey,
Markelle Fultz over
I ain't
Tatum
gonna
had nothing to
lie.
do with Sam Hinkie.
If you
He
know you're
was
not
no
gonna
longer
win,
the
because most
GM
of
at
these
that
teams
point.
you're gonna
Those
have
weren't
to.
his moves. He stepped down from his position just before the end of the 2016 regular season. He was reportedly forced out by the NBA.
And then I got to the league, and my second year, he was basically forced out. Around that time, the league did not like the process because it was a bunch losing. Like, they say it was like tanking, you know, they were losing
know,
on
I shouldn't be
purpose, which in the NBA, like, no one loses on purpose. Like, you're not gonna put NBA players out there and tell them that go lose a basketball game. Like, that pissed me off because I felt like, yeah, sure, there was a lot of losing, which I wasn't part of because that was before I started playing, but I knew that eventually, once I started playing, it was gonna change, which it did. So they basically forced him out, and I didn't like it.
Say what you want, but the process is credited with helping transform the Sixers into
Hey, technically his like what he was trying to do worked. He lost on purpose to get these good players like Drew Holiday, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Jaleel Okafor, and all these guys, Dario Saric. He got all these good players because his strategy technically worked. He was able to get the best players because he played the worst. Like I can't even really be mad at him. He technically did the thing he was supposed to be doing.
postseason
Well, his
contenders after
strategy
Hinkie's
worked.
departure.
The
So I'm
roster he
like,
created, I mean, it's not awful. That's a huge improvement there in Philly.
hey, shit. The only reason they got them picks is because of him, man. I ain't even gonna see a lie, man. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.